So in a week where I thought gaming news was going to be really dry, PlayStation dropped some exciting news on us. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J Main, back checking in with the people, back with another video. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost of Tsushima has an official release date. Now, before I get started on what that date is, I do want to give some background on my predictions for what I thought this release date would be. Now, we all know that The Last of Us Part 2 was originally supposed to come out in February of 2020, but then it got delayed to May of 2020. So in my head, even before the delay, I thought they should put Ghost of Tsushima out around the end of summertime, beginning of the fall, like pretty much around when right before kids go back to school. So like end of August, early September, I thought would be a good spot for it because, you know, a lot of times people don't want to release games in the summertime because they think people are out doing vacation things with family. They don't have a lot of time to play games. So they're not really looking at the system, and Ghost of Tsushima as a new IP might get lost in the shuffle of just the summer months. So being at the end of the summer when people are really winding down, getting back into the groove of school and stuff like that, it's a little bit easier for people to, you know, get on the game, have time for the game, and that's a good spot, especially when you're dropping a new IP. So I figured it would be released in that little window right there. But even after Last of Us got delayed till May, I still thought, you know, that's still a perfect spot for Ghost of Tsushima. It gives Last of Us a couple months away from Ghost of Tsushima, so it's not too much taking up the attention. And we all know Last of Us 2 doesn't have multiplayer, so pretty much once you beat the single player, that's it. Unless, you know, multiplayer is going to come, you know, a couple months or a month after, but I doubt it. You know, I think multiplayer might come around when PS5 come out. So that gives Ghost of Tsushima a nice little spot for it to have a lot of attention. But with the news that we got today, it throws my prediction a little bit off, because Ghost of Tsushima, god damn, it's hard to pronounce that name. Ghost of Tsushima. It was a tongue twister, but shit. But Ghost of Tsushima has a release date of June 26th. I was excited to hear this release date because out of all the games that I'm anticipating this year, Ghost of Tsushima is one of the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. I love the setting. I love the characters. I love the story so far that we know of. The gameplay looks absolutely tactical, and you know, you have that one-on-one style dual combat where you really have to pay attention to your every move, because one slip up and you can get washed. Kind of reminded me of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, a little bit too, with some of the combat sequences. But this just looks a little bit more personal. You know, it looks a little bit more one-on-one-ish. Even though you have some sequences where there's a couple people coming at you at once, it still kind of feels a little bit more slow and methodical. And then that one sequence from the E3 reveal where you're dueling against an NPC, which seems to be somebody that was helping you out at first, but you're dueling against her. Beautiful scene, shot from like the side view. It had a couple side view angles and stuff like that, and the graphics were looking amazing. So they announced the release date today with a new story trailer, and I'll talk about the story trailer first, and then I'll get into my thoughts on the release date. Now, the story trailer pretty much goes a little bit more in depth on the main character. His name is Jin. You're introduced to his teacher from when he was a young kid, and you see that as he gets older, this guy is still kind of like a mentor to him. Even during the Mongol invasion, he's still someone that Jin, you know, goes to for advice. But it seems as if Jin is not sticking to the codes and the things that he was taught as a young kid when it comes to defending his people against the invasion. So you see that he's battling with what they call the Ghost, and this is the form he takes to help defend his people. And you get more dialogue from the main bad guy who leads the invasion and stuff like that. I think his name is Khan. I believe his name is Khan, and you get more information about, you know, just who he is and how he interacts with Jin as, you know, the main protagonist. So it's pretty dope. The story seems to be really good. I like that it seems like the main character is battling some demons, But listen, you gotta do what you gotta do to protect your people. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. I like the way the story is going, and I can't wait to just learn more about, you know, what happened. How does he become the ghost and stuff like that? Like, what does that mean? Like, is that something? Because it seems as though they talk about the ghost of somebody coming back from the dead. So does he die and come back to life, or is the ghost something that he takes upon? Maybe it's like a forbidden power that he consumes or something like. I just want to know more about what that entails. That seems to be cool. They showed a little bit of a gameplay in the trailer. We've got the biggest chunk of gameplay we saw was at the reveal. And I just kind of want to see a little bit more gameplay about the world, because I'm a little bit nervous about what kind of open world this is going to be. I don't want it to be like a Ubisoft style open world, which is one of my biggest beefs with like Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff like that, is that it became your standard Ubisoft open world. And for this kind of game, it doesn't even have to be an open world in that sense, you know, where you have the towers and you have the bases that you have to overtake, and then you got your little activities on the side. Like, it doesn't have to be that. Games like Sekiro didn't have that style open world. You had your NPCs throughout the world that you come across. They said that this game is not going to have like waypoints, so you're going to have to find your way, reminding me of Metroidvania type games and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's that kind of open world, and it's like a connected world in similar fashion to that, because that, I think, will fit this style, this time period, and this game the best, versus it being a Ubisoft style open world. I don't want it to be that. So yeah, I would like to see more gameplay of just, you know, the activities or things that you do outside of the story missions. Being that it's open world, I know you traverse through the world on a horse, so it's gonna be a large world, being that you have a means for traversing on a horse. Then you got the grappling hook too, so it might be a big world. I'm just nervous about what that means for the activities and the side stuff in this game. So maybe just like a 10-15 minute demo of what the side stuff entails, and I'll be straight. I'm good. I'm excited for this game. I can't wait. It comes out in 3 months. Like, they announced the release date 3 months from launch. I love stuff like that. So now, to getting back to the date, the release date, June 26th is a date that surprised me, because that is literally the beginning of summer, and about less than a month after Last of Us. Now, remember what I said before, Last of Us does not have a multiplayer, so I know the conversation for this game is going to be big. I know the conversation for Last of Us is going to last a long time, just because of it being a sequel to a highly critically acclaimed game, one of the best-selling games in PlayStation history, and beloved characters and stuff like that. It just seems like a game that's going to be on a lot of people's minds for a long time to come. But I think without the multiplayer, it benefits Ghost of Tsushima a little bit, because a lot of people might beat the story and then move on to the next thing. So being that it's about a month after The Last of Us comes out, I think Ghost of Tsushima will still be good, but it's very close. It's way closer than I thought it would be. But my prediction came before I even knew multiplayer was gone. So now that multiplayer is gone, this helps. This helps Ghost of Tsushima a little bit. It is the beginning of the summer, so it's not dead in the middle where people might be doing, like I said earlier, people might be into activities, doing things with the family. So it's right at the beginning of the summer. Maybe it'll still get people, excited to play right when summer gets here. But yeah, it was just, it shocked me the most that it was like that early. I thought if anything it would be early summer or late summer, like I said, before school comes back, because you really don't want to put it anywhere else, being that it is a new IP. So I guess they don't want it close to the next generation stuff. As we know, PS5 is coming out this holiday, so maybe they want the second half of this year to strictly be focused on PlayStation 5 stuff, showing off those new games, because they're not going to be at E3, so they got to figure out a way to reveal PS5 and all of its launch titles sometime soon. And that sometime soon might be, as far as like the games go, might be around after Ghost of Tsushima comes out. I think the system will be revealed before that, but when it comes to the games, I think they're going to want the second half of the year to be focused on that. So really exciting stuff with Ghost of Tsushima coming out June 26th. Hopefully this game is amazing. They can put Sucker Punch on the map because I'm a fan of Sucker Punch games. I like Sly Cooper back on PS2, Infamous on PS3. Infamous on PS4 was a little bit of a letdown, but it kind of just felt like an early gen game. And I think this, now that they have more time with the system and it's their swan song for PS4, we're gonna see what Sucker Punch can really do with the PlayStation 4. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this release date. Are you excited for Ghost of Tsushima? You looking forward to this game like me? And will you be picking up, like, the collector's edition? Like, I know they got the digital deluxe edition. I'll leave the link down in the description so you can look at those. Let me know what you think. Rate the video, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Follow me on Twitter at jmain518. And of course, you can also check me out on Press Start Podcast every Thursday, including today, which we probably will be talking about Ghost of Tsushima in more detail. So I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.